lower than average from a perspective. So this is something which we believe that's improving, but at the same time requires a lot more of attention from themselves. And this is an area which probably is interesting. We need to probably think about it a little more carefully. This is a very interesting and an important. Having said all this, having got the problem, having understood the dimensions of what we are talking about as problem areas, one would obviously assume that there would be a significant investment that would be created, or significant investment, both in terms of deeper structure as well as in terms of on an ongoing basis. But that is not really coming out very, very clearly. Only worldwide, only modest increases are being proposed in terms of talent and HR investments. And this is something which is actually borne out by when we do engage with a number of organizations. We find that there is definitely hesitation. While you appreciate the problem, the emphasis in terms of converting the sensitivity of the problem to actual investment or expenditure is not. And there is definitely a correlation between what you expend and what you gain out of that. Maybe there is a certain degree of not direct correlation, but there is a certain degree of correlation. So this is something which was perhaps surprising, given the fact that the business leaders themselves have said that there is need for attention. This was a little bit of a surprise for us. So this broadly are the 10 findings. The more details are available, and the report is public domain. You are welcome to look at it in our website, www.deloitte.com. I'll just quickly look at the trends and gaps in India. If you look at this is a little bit of a busy graph. Please pardon me for that. We wanted to present the global and the India findings in the same page. So you have on the top half, you have the global findings, and the bottom half, as I mentioned earlier, the order, the top 4 trends are the same. The order has changed a little bit, while leadership remains at the same level. Not surprising, because the development of this area from a talent perspective is today very global, and a lot of leading organizations that are driving this are really able to lay down what matters to the organization, what matters to businesses. So I think we are fine in this. In terms of the gaps, again, you will find that more or less similar types of gaps are there in terms of readiness and urgency. This is the last one. This talks about the HR report card and what is felt as a need and what has been done, and the 12 to 18 months as of some time back. What would be the kind of HR investments? If you find that, again, in the case of India, again, the graph is somewhat slightly lagging from the point of view of global comparison to India in terms of what would be required and what would be actually done. So ideally, the top 2-3 lines, horizontal lines, have to be larger in the case of both the report card as well as in the investments. So in summary, what we are trying to say is that 2,532 or so leaders across the world in different geographies and industries have identified, based on a menu of expectations and trends and hypotheses, they believe that these are what is going to, when we talk about trends, the questions are directed towards the future. And very little of past is evaluated, but the information from the past is taken into consideration. So we have these 12 trends. Based on these 12 trends, we have drawn certain conclusions, which is what we presented as the top 10 findings, of which 4 of them are fairly critical from the point of view of readiness and urgency, and how organizations are going to be looking at it, and how they're going to change what they're doing to address some of these concerns is really what would be probably be coming out in the survey that is going to be following this year. We'll be happy at an appropriate forum and a time to present it to the August audience that are here today, and I look forward to that. I once again would like to thank, on behalf of Deloitte, the opportunity that is given to us to share this report with you, and look forward to, if there are any observations and so on, as part of the panel and subsequent to the panel discussion. Thank you so much.